Planting season is officially upon us as farmers are out in their fields getting ready for the new year. And as always, Mother Nature will have a major impact on when and how long that process will take.
Yeah, Damon Jones recently spoke with UGA climatologist Pam Knox and tells you what to expect in the coming months.
Whether it's corn, cotton, peanuts, or anything in between, farmers are hard at work getting their fields ready for the upcoming planting season. And just like any other year, the weather will pose major challenges. And this year, it's been a recent lack of rain.
And so but that dryness has brought in some abnormally dry conditions to parts of Georgia. And I think that's somewhat of a concern for farmers if they're worried about germination and things like that. And so, we're hoping that that doesn't continue, because obviously if it would continue, it would be worse during the active part of the growing season.
However, don't look for this dry spell to continue, as models show rain and lots of it in the upcoming weeks. Well, that's good news for the soil conditions. It might also create another problem farmers had to deal with last season: delayed planting.
But the short-term forecast for April and then the forecast looking at April through June both indicate that we're likely to see above normal rainfall. It's kind of a two-edged sword. We need the rain, but if it rains all the time, it makes it hard for the farmers to get into the fields, and that's going to slow things up for planting. So I think that's a real issue.
And the reason for that is an El Nino system this spring, which will not only provide rain, but also cooler temperatures.
The rain is probably going to happen because of the El Nino, which was declared about a month ago. And typically in an El Nino winter and on into spring, Georgia, especially southern Georgia, is wetter than usual, and usually also a little bit cooler, just because the clouds tend to keep the temperatures down a little bit.
So with that in mind, Knox suggests the farmers plan ahead and look for small breaks in precipitation to get their planting done on time.
The rainfall looks good. As long as they can find that window, they have to be ready to jump on good conditions and get out into the field and plant where they can.
Once the planting is done, a dramatic shift in temperatures could have an effect on the crop. However, that's not a scenario Knox thinks is very likely.
We don't really see any cold coming back to the state, not a big outbreak like we had earlier this year. And that's a hopeful sign, because you don't want to plant and then have it get cold and have those seeds just sit in the ground.
As for the long-term forecast, farmers can expect to see another hot summer. While that might not make things comfortable for them in the fields, it is good news for their crop.
We do know that there has been a long-term trend in the summer towards warmer temperatures, and so NOAA is predicting that that trend is likely to continue. In other words, we may see a little warmer than average temperatures over the summer. That's not necessarily a bad thing either, because that means things will tend to ripen a little bit quicker, develop a little bit more.
Reporting from Watkinsville, I'm Damon Jones for the Georgia Farm Monitor.